I hope the audio is good for this video. Okay, my sister had to borrow my good laptop, and I'm using my old one. So there you go. But check it out. First of all, never buy Toshiba. Okay, I don't give a shit. This piece of crap is the worst. 350 bucks I've ever spent. Okay, but hey, whatever, right? I use it for just emails, just basic shit. But check it out. First of all, I was actually not even looking for this. And I'm going to do a video about what I was looking for, maybe after this or tomorrow. I'll see. And that's about Julio Cesar Chavez and his father. And Senior has done a 180 from what he said after the fight on interviews and what he said after. But anyway, and I also wanted to see what some Mexican fighters were saying. And I found it interesting. Margarito was picking Chavez Jr. to win. And then Erik Morales actually, I think he broke it down very well. It's in Spanish, but he talked about the potential issues that each fighter could have. But he basically called it as far as Chavez Jr. and his issues with the weight. But with that aside, it caught me by surprise looking at Margarito. But by the way, man, dude, that motherfucker should not be fighting with an eye like that, and he shouldn't be fighting anyway. This motherfucker should be banned from the sport. Okay, but that aside, he just starts talking shit about Erik Morales now. Attention, right? And he's just talking about see the way, right? Basically, translation: this motherfucker was talking shit. He's saying that I shouldn't be boxing anymore. Who the fuck he thinks he is, and this, that, and the third. And I mean, he just went in. And then he said, if he wants to, show that I don't belong in the sport, then why doesn't he get in the fucking ring with me then? And then he starts talking about how when he was a 4-round fighter, he got in the ring with Morales when Morales was a 10-round fighter. And, oh, look how I left his eyes or something like that, right? Well, first of all, Morales was undefeated for a while, bro, before he lost to Barrera. So I know you didn't beat him. And I didn't even bother looking into BoxRec about that. But if he's probably talking when they were amateur, I guess. I don't know. But I just found that interesting. And then he starts talking about, oh, Morales is a fat ass. You look at him, you wouldn't even know he used to be a professional boxer. And he just went in on Erik Morales. I mean, you would have thought, okay, he said some terrible things, okay, and then I conveniently saw the reply from Morales, and Morales came out and said, look, man, I've been retired for who knows how since the rematch with Garcia, right? I've basically said I have no reason or business to get back in the ring. I've been retired for a long time. But if Tony wants to do something for charity, we can do an exhibition. And he basically left it at that. Okay. But Tony's not going to do an exhibition with you. Tony looking for a payday, dude. Like, come on. That's what this is. But Antonio Margarito, big tough guy. Look at me. Look at me. I'm a big tough guy. I'm challenging a dude that's been retired for years now. Well, what has it been? Like 5-6 years now that he's been retired? Right? And he's challenging up to a fight, and let's get in the ring, and let's do this, and let's do that. I find this very, very interesting, to say the least. You can't be serious, man. Right? And this, let me tell you, man. All Morales was doing was giving commentary, all right, regarding, because he always he has this series called like The Terrible Truth or something like that. Okay, Los Terrible Verdades or something like that, and he was just giving commentary about Antonio Margarito, right? That's literally all he was doing. He wasn't doing anything else. He wasn't saying anything venomous about him, right? And Margarito just got offended that Morales had an opinion, and now he's challenging him to a fight. You know, Margarito, I understand that your eye's fucked up and you can't get any good fights anymore, and no reasonable commission will give you permission to fight, okay, with a fucking eye like that. Okay, if you guys haven't seen this dude's eye, it's unbelievable that he's still fighting, first of all. Okay, that anybody would allow him to fight. But he's desperate for a big fight. I mean, this guy is campaigning for a fight. But let's just talk about it, okay? First of all, Antonio Margarito, you don't hold a fucking candle to Erik Morales, okay? When people talk about the greatest Mexican fighters of all time, your name will not appear on that list, okay? Because first of all, number one, you're a disgrace. And even if you weren't a disgrace, okay, you don't have the skill, you don't have the accomplishments, you just don't. You don't have that of Erik Morales, okay? And Erik Morales actually has a victory over Manny Pacquiao, while you lost to the fucking midget because you fucking suck. All right? You fucking disgraceful piece of shit. That's what I have to say about that. Okay? And second of all, right? look, there's nothing more joyous to me than to just go on YouTube, find the beating Mosley gave this guy, and just sit back and enjoy it. Okay? There's nothing more joyful than watching Manny Pacquiao, okay, hammer this dude on that fucking eye and fuck it up for good. There's nothing more joyous to me than that, right? Now he's walking around. He should have a fucking patch on that disgusting thing, right? Look, in case you haven't caught on, I don't like Margarito, right? And that's for the record, right? I've never hit that. In fact, I've never wanted to do a video about him, but since he, is challenging Erik Morales to a fight and they come out of retirement and I'll retire you, like, wait, what? He's already retired. I mean, this is stupid, man. This is the equivalent of, Maldrick Tater, okay, I mean, saying something critical of, I don't know, of Mayweather, and then Mayweather challenging him to a fight. I mean, well, that's not even a good example, but you know what I mean, okay? Stupid. Honestly, this is dumb, man. And just the fact that Margarito could show his face and has a confidence of showing his face around people when everybody knows what he did. I don't care what the defenders say, okay? It's obvious what he did, okay? And anybody who says, "Oh no," and like he didn't know, like sure he didn't, okay? Of course, sure he didn't. But with that said, man, I don't think Morales should come out of retirement to fight Antonio Margarito. First of all, who the fuck wants to see that? That's number one. Okay, I love Erik Morales, but even if you were to win the fight, I don't want to see that fight. Okay, nobody wants to see Morales come back, and nobody wants to see Margarito. Right? It's just you two are done. All right, one respectfully done. All right, one went out like a warrior. Right, a respected warrior. He's going to be known for the trilogies he had with Barrera, with Pacquiao, with just all the amazing fights this guy had. Right. At one point was one of the best pound for pound fighters in the sport. In my opinion, was the pound for pound for a while in the sport. But Margarito will never, and I mean he can't even hold Erik Morales' jockstrap. He just couldn't. Okay. And that's just the reality. I don't care, not just because he's a cheater, okay, not just because he's a disgrace of the sport, but because you just weren't that good, bro. Okay. You were never that good. You were never that skilled, right? Margarito is a parody. Margarito in his prime was a parody of a Mexican fighter, okay? A guy that just comes forward with no defense, gets hits a lot, takes two to land one. That's Margarito. Erik Morales, right, was not a parody of a Mexican fighter. He was a Mexican warrior with skill, with an unbelievable jab, with great combinations, great footwork, on point footwork, you know, decent at everything that he was not great at. And he was great at a lot of things. So Margarito, what the fuck was he? He was an oversized fucking welterweight, right? I mean, that's what he was. He never belonged at welterweight when you really look at it. And but fine, he made the weight. Okay, fair enough. But what the fuck was he? He wasn't anything. He had his limelight, and that limelight is, you could question that. I mean, there's so many dark clouds above that. Okay, now before I go, I'm going to search this really quick. Okay, let's search Antonio Margarito. Let's search this motherfucker. All right. You guys just see him like brag about, oh yeah, I mean, I fought Morales and I fucked him up. Like back in the day when I was a 4-round fighter. Like, yeah, okay. Do we have footage of this? Like, is there any footage of this? Or are we just gonna take Margarito's word for this, or what? Well, what are we gonna do? All right. Paul Williams, by the way, defeated Margarito pretty handily, right? When did he fight Morales? He's a fucking liar. Like, is this a sparring session story? Is this what this is? Right? You sparred him, didn't you? You fucking dumbass, right? It's talking about a sparring story, right? Okay, you hang on to that sparring story. Um, First, everybody knows you're a lot bigger, dude. Like, it's than like everybody knows he's a lot bigger than Morales. So even if it did spar, well, what does that even mean? It doesn't mean anything, right? Um, so anyway, where does Margarito go from here? I mean, if he's he's calling Morales for a fight. I mean, why isn't he calling out anybody else for a fight? I mean, I remember Lennox Lewis said that you had to know, okay, those raps were fucking loaded. Well, why don't you go up to Lennox Lewis and say something, Margarito? I mean, a lot of fighters said something. I mean, Pacquiao did too, but you already tried to teach him a lesson. How did that go? That didn't go very well, did it? All right. that didn't go very well at all, actually. And this dude, man, what a disgrace. Honestly, like I wish, and I was gonna say I shouldn't say it, but I'm gonna say I don't give a fuck. Okay, they shouldn't have stopped the fight against Cotto. They should have stopped it. They should have let Cotto keep punching him in that fucking eye for the 3 more rounds. They should have let him do it. Right? They should have let him. Fuck it. Who gives a fuck? He wanted to keep going, No, but what if the New York's look? It's if you ask him, do you want to continue, and he says yes, then hey, just keep. I don't give a fuck. If his eye got worse, you think I care? I don't give a shit. And it did get worse, by the way. That eye is fucking disgusting. All right. Anyway, I'm out.